Golf is renowned around the world as one of the most difficult sports to play, and even harder to be good at. It's a joy to behold when the world's best golfers not only attempt, but pull off insane shots, leaving fans absolutely stumped as to how they've done what they've done. Today, we're looking at some of the world's most insane golf shots that actually went in, so stay where you are. First up, no stranger to the ludicrous Tiger Woods. Woods is one player who could feature in every position on this list, but in the interest of fairness, we have just included probably his most iconic shot. Not just his most iconic, but arguably his greatest shot ever. Woods was just off the green on the 16th at the 2005 Masters at Augusta, where he pulled off what many regard as possibly the finest shot ever played on the course. One of the first viral videos, Woods pulled this shot off just 2 months after the invention of YouTube, and boy, was it good timing for both Woods and the video sharing platform, as the video was shared far and wide. The ball was sitting just up against some very rough grass, and Woods also had to negotiate a tricky, undulating green. The lie meant that he had to attack the ball low, up along the slope, which he did with aplomb. He executed the shot to perfection. Using a short backswing, he stroked the ball up the slope, starting off left of the pin, using the slope of the green to his advantage. The crowd starts to murmur with excitement as the ball starts to head towards the hole, bending towards the pin in a slow and steady motion. And what was an iconic moment not just for Woods, but also for Nike, his ball stops right on the edge of the hole, with the Nike tick fully visible, before it drops into the hole to rapturous crowd applause. Bravo. Next up, we're talking Louis Oosthuizen's double eagle at the 2012 Masters. Louis Oosthuizen pulled off one of the most remarkable Masters shots ever during the final round of the 2012 Masters tournament, and fans went absolutely crazy. Oosthuizen was on the second hole at Augusta when he made his double eagle 2 on the par 5 second, becoming the first person in history to score a 2 on the second hole at the world-famous course. He was 260 yards out when he addressed the ball and would have only been thinking about a birdie at this point, maybe even an eagle, but a double eagle would surely never have crossed the South African's mind. Oosthuizen would be hoping to get on the dance floor, but not only did the ball land at the front of the green, it then rolled almost the entire length of a long green and dropped in to move him to 10 under par to lead the tournament by 2 strokes. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be enough for Oosthuizen as a resurgent Bubba Watson came from behind to pip him and Peter Hansen to first place, with Oosthuizen sharing second spot with the Swede. Whatever happened though, Oosthuizen's double eagle on the second at Augusta will never be forgotten. A hole-in-one from an amateur golfer is up next. Sammy Schmitz, the amateur turned pro turned amateur again, sealed the 2015 Mid-Amateur Championship with an incredible hole-in-one on the par 4 16th at Johns Island Club in Vero Beach, Florida. The seemingly impossible shot from 260 yards was the 34th hole and the 36th hole final between the American and his rival, Mark Dahl, and the sublime shot was anything but Dahl. Sorry, we couldn't resist. Smith's lead has been cut to 2 shots following a bogey on the previous hole, and Dahl must have thought he was back in the hunt before the par teed off on the 34th hole. Smiths was in no mood for games, however, and absolutely nailed his drive perfectly, sinking his ball for a hole-in-one. There is no incredible, iconic commentary synonymous with the Woods shot at the 16th at Augusta, but the shot was just as good. Speaking of the Masters, Smith's win earned him a place at the next Masters tournament, but unfortunately, he didn't make the cut. That will not take the shine off one of the most incredible shots in golf's history, and nor should it. A quite fantastic shot. What's the craziest hole-in-one you've ever seen? Let us know down below in that comment section. Larry Mize's chip to win the 1987 Masters is next. In what was considered one of the biggest shocks in Masters history at the time, Larry Mize won a playoff against Steve Ballesteros and Greg Norman to claim his first and only major championship back in 1987, and the winning shot was absolutely sublime. Having landed his approach a fair way off the green, pardon the pun, Mize will have been hoping to just land his ball somewhere near the pin and then putt home. His chip shot was perfect though. Instead of using a high flop shot, Mize chose to chip into the rough, using the longer grass to slow the ball down on its way toward the pin, and he couldn't have dreamt for a better execution. The ball bounced a couple of times before rolling onto the green and up towards the pin. The crowd held its collective breath as Mize's shot itched towards the hole and went absolutely crazy when it dropped in. The shot, which is criminally underplayed, was an absolute beauty and deserves more praise than it actually gets, not only for its technical skill, but also for what was at stake. Congratulations, Larry. What's the best shot you've ever seen? Again, let us know below. We're talking about a legend of the game now. Jack Nicklaus joins us. In what was a case of rolling back the years, 75-year-old Jack Nicklaus nailed an absolutely perfect hole-in-one. In what was a case of rolling back the years, 75-year-old Jack Nicklaus nailed an absolutely perfect hole-in-one at the Masters Par 3 contest back in 2015. The Golden Bear showed he still had it and nailed his tee shot across the drink and onto the green. The ball seemingly landed around 10 feet from the hole before Nicklaus's expert backswing kicked in and took the ball off on its mission to find the hole. And find the hole it did, to rapturous applause from the delighted crowd. We can only dream of shots like this, but to make a career out of pulling off shots like this is a testament to the man. What an amazing shot and career for that matter. Who's your favorite old school golfer? A bizarre putt up next. Sam Torrance pulled off one of the weirdest and most wonderful putts back at the British Open in 1990. The longest putt ever, not for distance, but for time it took to drop into the hole after the stroke. Torrance waited for what seemed like an eternity as his ball hung over the lip of the hole. He must have known the ball would eventually drop, as he seemed to will the ball home using brain power. From the moment he putted to the moment the ball sunk, the shot clock read 26 seconds, and the putt was only from around 10 or 15 feet out, which gives you an indication of just how long the ball sat on the lip for. Finally, it dropped in and relief was written all over the face of the Scottish golfer. The rules surrounding this very situation are fairly ambiguous and state that if any part of the player's ball overhangs the lip of the hole, the player is allowed a reasonable time to reach the hole and 10 more seconds to wait to see whether the ball will fall into it. If the ball falls into the hole in this waiting time, the player has holed out with the previous stroke. If the ball doesn't fall into the hole during this time, it will be treated as if it's at rest. However, if it falls in before it's played, the player has holed out with the previous stroke and one penalty stroke is added to his or her score. So there you go. And finally, the winning shot from the 1983 Hawaii Open. Isao Aoki and Jack Renner were locked in a battle to the death on the last hole of the 83 tournament, and it looked as though Renner was about to take it before he missed a 10-foot putt after a fantastic approach shot. This left the door open for Aoki to sneak though. The Japanese star had messed up his previous two shots and lay about 130 yards from the pin. He decided to go with loft and his gamble paid off. He struck the ball superbly, maybe a little too well, as his line was perfect, but he must have been worried he had overcooked it a little as the ball bounced just short of the hole. Normally, these shots will leave a player off the back of the green as the ball skips past the hole and into the rough. But not for Aoki. His ball bounced straight into the hole, and what made it even better? Well, it was the winning shot. Tell us the craziest shot you've ever seen in golf. As always, thanks for tuning in, and remember to join us next time for some more fun and games. Why not share this video with any budding Tiger Woods you might know of, as you'd be doing us a big favor. Take care, guys.